doing like a sit down question and answers with Sam very soon.
Good afternoon everyone. I am starting today's vlog a little bit later. I have spent my morning doing some shopping for the week and for some Christmas recipes coming up, and now I'm just stopping to have a little bit of food. I noticed that over the Christmas period I seem to crave all of these like recipes that I used to have growing up as a kid with my parents, and I wonder if you guys have that same nostalgic feeling with the Christmas brings, where you just start wanting everything that used to be your favorite growing up. So once I finish having some salmon on toast, just like my mum used to make for our breakfasts, I'm planning on making olivia, which is a Russian salad that has egg, potato, it's got pickles, it's got peas, and it also has ham. So I'm actually using our ham from last year because it really does need to be used up. And yeah, I guess it's kind of like a Russian potato salad. So I'll be making that. And later on, I have a really fun recipe and a great story to tell you about it too. But I won't ruin the surprise yet, so you'll just have to stay tuned. Sam had an overnight shift last night, so he's still sleeping because he doesn't get a proper rest while he's there. So then he comes home and he rests, and then hopefully we'll be able to tackle a few things today, but it's definitely warming up out there, so we'll just see how we go. So to start the recipe, I do need to boil up some eggs. They need to be hard boiled, as well as potatoes. So I'm doing half Dad's recipe because it makes a huge amount. So I'm doing 5 eggs and I'm going to do 2 potatoes. My potatoes are actually pretty small, so I'm going to do 3 small ones. I always do this, there's always too much. I think the hardest part of doing daily vlogs is the reality of being human. We all have bad days, slow days, low days, and often these are days that aren't being filmed and they're not being used to accomplish lots of things. They're often scattered, and to the most part, they're quite boring. But alas, these days are a reality of what it means to be living and what it means to go about your day. On this particular day, Sam was exhausted from doing his overnight shift and just from the overwhelm of his day and everything going on during this period of time. He had very little time for himself, and I think this was adding to his overwhelm. And I myself was trying to manage my own expectations of the day and what I wanted to occur that day. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed that we hadn't done what I thought we would, and I put a lot of pressure on Sam on this day. He was so good though to stick up for himself and what he needed to do for his mental health, but also what he felt he could reasonably achieve on this day.
I'm going to make up a cob loaf for dinner. If you've never made it before, it's just a selection of cheeses and dairy products all mixed together to make a gooey sauce. To this mix, you add bits of bacon and spring onion and stuff it all into a cob loaf, which is a type of loaf. You then use all of the bits that you've taken out from inside of the cob loaf and you dip those into the cheese sauce, and it is absolutely delicious. It's not often that we have it, but it's such a treat when we do. Cob loaf is definitely one of the naughtiest treats that I make, but it's definitely worth it. I do have a recipe on our channel during COVID time where I was by myself living alone, and I decided to make a cob loaf all for myself. I made the bread from scratch, I made the sauce from scratch. It was a lot of fun, not only to make but also to eat. So I'll link that down below if you want to check it out, especially if you want to make your own cob loaf from scratch. The recipe I used was like fail proof, it was really good. I thought we had gas in the barbecue to do this chicken, but it seems that we don't, so I'm just going to do it on the fry pan in all that delicious bacon fat that has come off the bacon. Well, of course it's come off the bacon, right? So my cheese mixture is just about ready. Just waiting for the last bits of cheese to melt. Put some spring onion in the cheese sauce as well. Alright, and then that goes into our cob loaf. Yum. Right. That's okay. Close her up. And now that goes into the oven. While I finished making the sauce for the cob loaf, Sam ended up heading out to the bus, beer in hand, to chip away at anything he could and just make a start. I did eventually join him out there, and we did our best to overcome the rotten moods that we were in. Very cute.
Alright, that lines up with that, so this is just what it's gonna be.
On this day, I'm thankful that we both communicate our true feelings and wants, give ourselves time to breathe, and come to terms with what it truly means to work as a team, and accept one another's opinions and wants when they do not align. I'm sure in every relationship there are disagreements and conflicts, but I am also so grateful for our more gentle approach to these nowadays. It keeps our space calm, it allows us to still be heard and supported, but it also gives us a chance to grow as individuals and as a couple. Because if we never challenged each other, then we would, I don't know, I feel like we would never move forward in our life.
The water heater is now a little step closer to being done, and we were able to enjoy our evening eating some good food and chatting together. And though the day hadn't turned out as I expected it would in the morning, I'm glad that it ended this way, full of acceptance, love, and support. We did end up losing a lot of light yesterday, so I didn't quite get to talk to you about what is happening on the bus. Essentially, what I've been working on is starting to put these little notches in so that I can rest our curtain bar on top. You guys know that I'm planning on sandwiching this little bar up here so that it stays put, and then perhaps putting something between the two bits of wood to keep it nice and secure. But I've ended up also putting on the straps for the curtain so that I can move it open and shut and just test it out and see what I think they look like that so far. And I'll end up cutting and neatening it all up. So really excited for that. It's coming along nice and it's pretty effective. Originally, I was thinking that we would roll it up and out of the way, but this works pretty well. And the curtain's already in the shape to be folded as an accordion because it's a car sunshade. So we might as well go with the flow instead of going against the grain. As for what Sam has been doing, a few days ago, we started building out the kitchen bench so that we could install our water heater. Our water heater needs to be up on a platform and vented outside. So today, Sam is going to fix all of this in place, but so far, so good. Everything is coming along nicely. I'll pop outside and I'll show you what it looks like from the outside as well. But once he has secured that all in, that's his project for the week done and dusted, and he'll be heading off to his bucks party, which is really exciting because that's the first big wedding event, and I just can't wait to hear his stories afterwards. Hopefully they're nice on him. But the bus is coming along so nicely. I'll probably end up spending a bit of time securing these last window framing pieces in, and perhaps cutting a couple more so that that's ready to go, and also doing some decorating. Yesterday, I did end up putting some little solar lights on my tree. These are the ones from the front of the house. They used to be up along the fence near the flower gardens. You guys would have seen them in previous videos. But since we're transitioning off this property, it makes sense to bring them out here onto the tree permanently. All right, let's go outside and I'll show you what the venting system looks like. That's it. Riveting stuff, I know. So I'll show you guys once Sam has installed that all, what it's going to end up looking like all finished. And that's officially our gas water system installed. It means we can finish off our gas. We just need to finish venting the box properly because we need to keep in mind our solar system now and therefore change up what our gas is doing. I know. Let's not talk about it. And it also means we can start closing in the walls officially and move into building those internal walls in the bathroom finally, which is great news. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas so far. I do plan on doing like a sit down question and answers with Sam very soon. So please, please, please leave me some questions down below. I'm also going to sift through some comments that I've had in the past and some of the most popular questions that keep popping up, and we'll include those in the video as well. I'm guesstimating that's going to be Vlogmas Day 14, so you have a little bit of time, but I would so appreciate your questions because I want to make the video relevant to you. So ask any questions you have about our last 3 years homesteading, our transition from the suburbs to the homestead, our transition off this homestead, our plans for the future perhaps, our bus trip, anything that's on your mind, leave it down below and we'll do a big video, questions and answers, and yeah, and get that out to you. Thank you so much for following along, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow, which is technically today.